Hello.
Hi. Are you able to listen my voice?
Yes, but
Okay.
there is some problem in your screen. Wait, can you see me properly?
Yes, I can see you properly. Okay, I have just a question here. I'm getting a pop-up question saying that share this live video with others so that they can also watch. So I
Yeah,
think
you can do that. Hi,
I
Raghavan.
okay. So maybe people won't see me go live until unless I don't give them the access. I feel like that.
Or is it your account private?
Yes.
Uh, that's why probably.
But I think even my friends won't get the access. I don't know. It's okay. I will share the link.
Yeah, because anyway, I will upload this as a reel. Once we are done, then they can watch.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome, Rashmita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Nice. Well, it's nice to have a conversation with you after a long time because I think it's been a long time we haven't seen each other or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably 2018 or 19, I think, when you came to IIT
Yes.
Guwahati.
Yes. Yes.
2017. 17.
Yeah. Yeah. After that, yeah, 2017 is the last time. After
Yeah.
that, I never been to IIT. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's been long.
Yeah.
6 years.
It's really.
Oh, okay. How's everything going? All good?
It's good. It's a little bit hectic because I'm going towards the final year of my PhD, so it's kind of a little bit hectic.
So now you are in fourth year, right?
Yes,
Or third?
I'm
Fourth year.
going.
You joined in 2021
Yes,
after COVID,
I
right?
joined in 21. Yes, after COVID.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. We can start now.
Yeah.
I welcome you again. Thank you for joining me. I hope people who are watching will get some insight about your journey. Okay, so
And
I
thank you
want to
so much for inviting me.
welcome. Okay, I want you to give a brief introduction about yourself, your background, and what you are doing currently.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Rashmita Baruah. So, I'm from Assam, northeastern part of India. So, I have my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunication engineering from Guwahati University. And then I worked for some time in a college in India as an assistant professor. And after that, I joined my master's program in NIT Arunachal Pradesh in VLSI design, which is quite similar with the electronics. And then I had the opportunity to work in IIT Guwahati as a final year project. And after that, I again started working. I worked for another 1.5 year in government organization, and then I decided that I want to do my PhD because it was always in my list to do it anyway. So at the end of the day, I decided to do my PhD and I came to US, and currently I'm doing a PhD and my background is nanoengineering, and I'm totally focused in semiconductors, and I'm
Amazing,
residing in North Carolina. Yeah.
amazing. Okay, Rashmita, when I started this, that I'm continue doing this, one thing is that uh, everyone in their life goes through some phase of this struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had my own share of struggle in um, different ways. I
Okay.
know everyone has, and I know you also had. Now you are enjoying the success of doing your dream profession right now, your PhD. But before that, you also had your own struggle. So when I
Yeah.
started this, I knew in my mind that the success that people are enjoying right now and whom I'm inviting, they had their own struggle, right?
Yes.
So I want to know about that struggle more than the success that people are having right now. So I want
Okay.
you to give the journey from Assam to US. After that, we will talk about your current life. Because
Oh,
for me, I get inspiration more from the struggle than the success story.
correct.
Re- Recently, I came across a very beautiful line, and that goes, do not get jealous from people who are in their winning phase, because you have no idea what they lost in their losing phase. I love
Exactly.
those lines. I mean, the words are so beautifully put, that because people often get that kind of negative thought, right? When someone
Yes.
shares the success.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, we see always the good news, and many of the people will be like, oh, it is happening in their life, not in my life. But people don't know the struggle behind that success.
Exactly.
So the main motto of starting this podcast is that I want to share people's struggle before they get the success that they are enjoying right now. So
Okay.
I want your journey from Assam, or maybe
Okay.
from Arunachal, because you were doing a job there, right?
Yeah.
And the COVID happened and everything. So I want you to
Yeah, that was
give
one of the
more
problems.
on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, let me go a little bit forward, not from the Arunachal. So I want to share a little bit of um, how everything started.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Perfect.
basically, when I was growing up, there was this show coming up in Assam. I forgot the channel. So this Assamese show called Bidekhat Apun Manhu. Okay,
Yes, that's
so
a
I
very
was
old
kind
show.
of, yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of like every day on week, like every weekends, around 7:30 p.m. Like me, my parents, and my brother will sit there and we will be watching that show. So, over the course of time, I started getting encouragement and I saw how people came here for their higher education and how they're building up the career. It's kind of like quite inspiring to see, how people from Assam, they go, not only from Assam, like, from India, they come over long distances to build up their career, staying away from home. It's a lot of struggle. So it's kind of built up from that small show, but it's kind of started building up dreams in my life. So I would say it took me almost 8 years to come to this point. Like it was a long struggle for me because I didn't know much information about how to come here because I was just dreaming about, okay, I should go to US, but how? I don't know. Because we know we don't have the money to come here, right? Because this is a big struggle that we are not aware of it. We are just thinking, okay, I want to go to US. Then when we go to our parents and parents say that, oh, we don't have the money to send you, then we are clueless. We don't know what to do. Either there are two options: that people go to consultancy and pay a lot of money there, and then
Right.
you come to US. But yeah, so people are not sure about that. You can also get a stipend, or a scholarship, full-time scholarship to come here and study, and you don't have to invest any money from your pocket.
Right.
So, as I started my journey during my BTech, once I was done with my undergrad life, I thought maybe I should try for masters in abroad. I tried. I put a lot of applications that time back in 2014. So I got also an admit, but unfortunately, I didn't got any scholarship that time. So I was kind of like, no, it's not possible. I asked my dad, like, do you think I should go? Then he said, no, I cannot afford it. And also, I thought that getting a loan is not a good option for me because I was not confident enough that time. So I thought maybe I should stay back and do my master's here, and maybe I should try for PhD there. Because either way, I was in the education line, so I was thinking, either way, I was thinking I want to do my PhD. So after that, I joined NIT Arunachal as for my master's, and then after my master's, I was kind of like, okay, I did my master's now, and I started preparing for different exams that are needed to give. You need to give for coming to US or any other countries. The criteria that you need to fulfill. Then I started tracking down all those things, like what you can do. Then I met a couple of my friends who came to US, and they told me that, yeah, you need to give two important exams to come here. One is GRE, Graduate Record Examination, and one is IELTS or TOEFL. So these are the exams for your English proficiency if you are not from a non-English speaking country. So after that, okay, but that is not enough. That information is not enough for me because, when you have to give the examination, you have to pay a lot of fees now. So it's not like, you pay 300 rupees or 400 rupees for the application fee. It's kind of like that time I gave in, I think, 2019, and it's kind of like 16,000 rupees in
Mm.
Indian currency, and I would say $250 in US. So basically, you have to think about a lot that, okay, you need to have this much money, and if you are investing this much money, that means you need to work hard for that exam. You can just give one time. Now, you
Right.
cannot just do trial and error, okay, this time I didn't get, then I will give next time. So that's a lot of things. So excuse me. So I thought maybe I should, I was like not sure about it that time, like what to do, because I was thinking that I don't want to take any money from my parents. I want to do it by myself. So I started looking for jobs. Then it was after I graduated from NIT. So it was during that 6 months from 2018, maybe July till December, I was looking for jobs. And then I got lucky and I finally got a job in a government organization as a training officer. And after that, I joined there, and I was posted in Arunachal Pradesh. That was the only drawback for me because as a city, as a place, I love Arunachal Pradesh, but only the issue for me was the communication problem. Because even if I think about uh, going in that direction of giving GRE or IELTS, every time I have to travel a lot. So that
Mm.
was the challenge for me. But anyways, I thought like, okay, it's okay, I will do it, whatever it takes. So I joined the job, and then I started preparing for the exams. So during the free hours, even in the work, I used to just study. I used to study, and I used to study for both the exams, IELTS and GRE. The challenge part for GRE in my case was the English vocabulary, because you have to read lot of vocabulary. You need to have a strong vocabulary, I would say. So it is not enough coming from India, because we don't use those words frequently. So those are the challenges that I have faced, that it took me a long time to, remember those words. I kind of like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 words I have to mug up. And then um yeah, math is easy for us. Look, I didn't have any challenge with the math part, but yeah, the real challenge was with the writing part and the vocabulary part. Because also in the writing also, they look for how good is your vocabulary, how many different kind of words you are using. It's not kind of like you need to write in a simple language. It's kind of you need to have a poetic view of writing things, how you are writing creatively. So they look into all those things. So yeah, so after that, I started giving the exams. So my exams are done. Now the next phase start is to contact the professors, because when you're applying for PhD, exams are not enough. You need to also contact the professors from different universities and to check what background or what is the interest that you have, what you are looking for. Okay, so you need to contact professors and what projects they are doing, and also what funds they have, whether they could give you the scholarship or not. So it depends everything on the grants in case of PhD. If the professor has good grants, if the professor has good projects, then you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about anything. Just you need to fulfill the criteria of the university. Like, as I said, you need to have the cutoff fulfilled for the GRE and also the
Mm-hmm.
IELTS. So those are the things you need to fulfill other than the professor. So the professor is the main important thing in case of PhD. So I contacted professors, and it's kind of like a real challenge for me. Maybe like 7, 8 months I have written mails over mails to tons of professor. And Indian timing, and I have to stick with the American timing because here the office hour starts between 10 to 5. So it's kind of like I have to mail them at night, like this point. This is morning
Mhm.
here around 8:30ish. So I have to mail them like during the daytime, because if you mail them during the daytime, so you have the higher probability of getting replies from them. So most of the time they don't even look in the emails, they just pass.
Right.
So yeah, these are some of the challenges. So I got replies hardly from 10 to 20 professors out of all hundreds of 300 professors I have mailed. So it's kind of like a regular thing for me. I used to copy paste the mail, just change the context, like in terms of what are the projects and the research interest. So according to that, I just wrote emails and I used to send, attaching my resume, my transcript. So these are the things. So yeah, so and also another thing I forgot to inform, other than GRE IELTS, you need to also have recommendation letters. I
Okay.
would recommend minimum 5 recommendation letter. I think if it's possible, you can keep it with you. Either way, the general requirement is just 3 recommendation, but some of the universities they look for 4 recommendation. So it's good to be on the safe side to have 5 recommendation as a backup. And also you need to apply for your transcripts, so that is very important to have transcripts. And also sometimes some of the universities that look for WES evaluation, so that evaluation you have to send your transcripts. So our, what is the system in India, it's kind of like out of 10 points you will get the CGPA, right? But in US it is kind of like out of 4. Now I'm talking
Right.
about US because I'm living in this country, so I was doing a lot of research for this country. I don't know about other countries what is their GPA system. So
Mhm.
you have to compare your results, like in the CGPA, you have to convert it into a GPA system, what is out of 4. So that is very important. So in India, um, basically this thing is like you have to send your, that is another thing I was like a little bit scared about, because I have to send my original documents. They want the original documents. Either you have to send it to US by courier service, or there is also one truecopy.com. It's a website, so you can also contact them. So what they do is they have a tie-up with WES. So what they do, they just scan the original certificates. You need to send it to them and they will scan it and they will send it to the WES. So you don't have to send it to US, for safe
Mhm.
side. So it's a lot of challenge, because they say that they just encourage in person, because being in Assam, it was a challenge. We don't have that service in Assam. So I have to take a lot of risk. I called them, I requested them, please, it is very important for me. Can you just scan it and send it to them? I will send you by post. The thing is, like, you have to go in person. They don't take the risk of, taking the things like by post, because original
Right.
certificates. The if anything goes wrong, they are not liable for that. So basically, I sent my original certificates to them, and then it was a risk. I thought, okay, let me take the risk. So I had a backup. So what I did was I scanned another set of copies for myself, so that if anything goes wrong, I have a backup so I can reapply for my original certificates. And then thankfully, they returned me the certificates. So before moving to that part, the real challenge was the COVID thing happened. So
Mhm.
2019, I fulfilled all the criteria. I was almost set to, go, and I luckily I got in touch with a professor here, and whose background was quite matching with mine. So I was like, okay, and she was also ready to give me a full-time scholarship. So I was like, okay, everything is done. But the unfortunately, because of the COVID, my transcripts and my WES evaluation couldn't happen, because everything shut down, and also I couldn't take the risk of sending my original certificates at that point. So I have to wait during the COVID. And I was working in Arunachal Pradesh, and during the COVID, the main thing was the borders were sealed. Nobody can
Mhm.
get in, nobody can come out. That was a real challenge for me. I was there, and during that time, like it was the most toughest time of my like life, I would say. So in September, I heard from my dad that he had a heart attack, and I was in Arunachal, and my family was in Jorhat. So I was kind of like, I don't know what to do now because there is no commutation now. I cannot go
Mm.
home because there is no bus service going on.
Right.
So yeah, and at that point, my dad managed to send someone, and then the driver came and he took me home. So after that, I left everything in Arunachal Pradesh. I didn't pack anything. So I was also requesting at the same time to them if it's possible they can, send me or post me in Assam so that I can be more close to my family. But again, government things, it takes time. So I
Mm.
was kind of like not having any hopes at that point. And I was like clueless. I don't know what is going to happen, whether I will be able to come to US for PhD or not. I have no idea at that point. I was just thinking like, okay, I will just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. And then after that, I came home, and then I came to know that my dad has blockage, 90% blocked in his heart artery. So he need to have bypass surgery. So it was the peak of COVID time when this all things are happening. And I was like, okay, what to do now? I was like, I cannot break down because I am that kind of a girl who is very emotional and I break down very easily. So but at that moment, I have to be strong. There is no other choice because I have my mom there, I have my brother there, because I cannot, if I break down, everyone will break down. It's kind of like that. So uh, we took our dad to Guwahati, and in Guwahati, everything went well, luckily, thankfully. So surgery went well, and also we need to take precautions from COVID, putting on mask every time. And I told my mom and my brother that you just go home. Rather than, going in and out of the hospital, it's a high risk because already my dad is sick. I don't want you guys to be sick. So they went home, and I'm very happy that my mom is really strong. See, she didn't even broke up once, during that moment. And I was like, okay, everyone is chilling. My mom is like singing. She likes to sing a lot. And she was singing, and like, yeah, it was kind of like a very motivational time for all of us. And I'm really thankful for my mom that she was a very strong woman. And then after that, my dad recovered. We came home after a month, and then slowly, everything started getting into place. I was like, okay, I don't want to lose hope. I'll just go with the flow. And at that moment, I decided to resign from my job because I felt like that it is not worth it, staying away from your family and also getting stuck in that place where you cannot come to see your family because of the communication issues. So I thought like it's okay, if not this job, I can look for other jobs. And either way, I don't know what's going to happen with the US applications that I have already applied for. But then I was just hoping some positive results I will get to hear some point. But then, I think in 21 May, not in May, 21 April, I got a call from my current advisor, and she sent me a mail saying that, are you still interested in joining my PhD group? I said, of course, I'm thankful that she remembered me, that I was
It
in
was
the application
after
process.
2 years, right? So the
No, it's kind of like in 2020, I had a conversation with her. 2019 end, I
okay.
started everything preparing, but
Mhm.
my conversation with my advisor started in 2020. And then I also gave like 4 interviews for that. 2 interviews are
Okay.
taken by like, her student itself, like checking how is my base of semiconductor physics. And then after that, she personally took the interview in 21 when she sent me a mail that, are you still interested? I'm happy that, oh, she remembered me. And then I was like, because I was sending continuous emails at the same time, because I was like, let me just give it a last try. That was my last try because I
Mhm.
already invested a lot of money. And I was also in, during my dad's surgery and all, we went through a financial crisis that time, because, bypass surgery is a lot of money. It almost cost us more than 10 lakhs.
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't know what is going to happen now, because we are in a financial crisis. And what if, because some people, they do take the risk of coming to US, and they hope that they will get a graduate research assistantship after some time, and they will get the scholarship. But that is a risky thing for me at that point. I cannot take that risk, because I was not sure what is going to happen after coming here, and I don't want to put my parents through that financial crisis and pressure thing, by taking loan or anything. So I came, like, as my advisors send me the email, we had interviews, and then I have to go through one more interview for this type of scholarship, full-time scholarship. So there was kind of like three panel members, and they took me interviews for me. And then finally I got the offer letter, and that was the most happiest day of my life. Like, I was like, okay, I was like fully funded. I don't have to pay a single penny. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I was waiting for. It's kind of like 2 years I have struggled, like starting from, yeah, I mean, struggling was always there, but like the main struggle was, 2019 and 2020 was the real struggle. But I didn't lose hope. I'm the person who is always like to keep positivity within myself, because I know at one point my mom told me that you should actually try for jobs here. But you cannot prepare for two, three things at the same time. You need to focus on only one thing, because if you focus on everything, you won't get anything. That is my
Right.
way of thinking. Okay. So when I got it, I was like, literally, I was in tears, because I don't know, the people do come to abroad, and it's a normal thing for other people, but for me it is something very special, because that dream, I was building it for the past 8 years, since I started dreaming, and coming here and achieving that part was a great thing for me. And after that, yeah, this is how my life is. I'm going right now. I'm doing my PhD. Yeah, and this is pretty much my journey from Assam to US.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing, because these are the things that people need to know
Yeah,
when someone is going through, like, once you complete any one course, like your bachelor or master's or PhD, the time after doing one course is often very, very struggling and hectic for many people, right? People often struggle silently. So when we talk about someone's journey, I am sure people get inspiration in many ways. So that was
yeah.
the purpose of calling you today, because I had some idea of your struggle, but I am thankful to you that you
Hmm.
shared with our audience as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, now life is going well, right? So
yes.
that is good. And okay, now let's talk about your current life, the happy part.
Well, there's going to be ups and downs. You can't be happy always, because it's going to be boring, if you are always happy.
That's
There has to be a little bit
true.
spiciness in your life. So yeah, after I came here, I started my PhD. In the beginning, I was like amazed by seeing everything around in US, because it's so clean. And yeah, I mean, everything was so nice. And also, people here are different. They smile when you pass by, and they will always greet you when they pass by you. So in the beginning, I was like trying to adopt the culture. And then after that, because I like to travel a lot. So my first funda in my life is like, if I have to work, I also want to travel at the same time, because that makes my brain, work more, because I need a break every time. So what I did was, every year I started, I thought maybe I should do a bigger trip every year. One big trip is necessary for me. So I started in the first year, I think 22, I went to Thailand with my parents. And then next year I visited some national parks here. And I think, yeah, this year I think I went to Nashville. So it's kind of like, I'm making trips. I've made some friends, and there are also friends from Assam who came here, and we are like bunch of people who loves to travel. So I travel whenever I get a chance, whenever I'm not doing anything or I have some free time. So at that time I just love to travel. And
Hmm.
so yeah, and also, here I have learned so many things. Like, I'm staying away from my family. So most of the time, your friends are your family now. So, you're staying away, so you cannot expect your relatives and cousins to be around here. So whenever you're sad, you can just go home or go to them. But I'd say, yeah, I mean, friends are your family. They will make you feel home. So I started communicating with them. I have a big friend circle here, and I'm happy. Like, yeah, I'm thankful that I have that well-wishing friends around me who supports me, who always listens when I'm during my downtime. They are there for me. So it's kind of like very nice. It's a very nice feeling.
That's amazing. Okay, tell me about a typical day in your lab life, in your PhD life. How your day starts, what you do,
A
and
long
everything.
hectic day.
Long hectic day, yes.
Yeah. So okay. So my research demands a lot of dedication, whatever I'm doing. So I think you are aware of molecular beam epitaxy system that I asked you last time.
Yeah.
So my research mainly focused on building semiconductor nanowires. I work in 1D nanostructures, and mostly I make photodetecting devices, infrared photodetecting devices. So it's kind of like starting from everything from the beginning of building the device. It's not any software or simulation. So when you make a device from a particular silicon chip and how you grow the nanowires and all, so it takes a lot of time. So early morning, I start my day around, there's a time difference in US, basically daylight saving. So previously when the time was not changed, now it is like 1 hour. It is the exact time. Previously it was 1 hour behind, I would say, or 1 hour forward. I'm sorry, I always get confused with this timing thing. So anyway, so I start my day typically around 6 o'clock in the morning, because I feel like I'm always a morning person, because I feel like in the morning everything is silent and you can get a lot of your works done. So
Correct.
I try to wake up by 6, but nowadays it's still dark outside, so I feel like I should sleep a little bit more. So I started waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I start with my morning coffee or tea, and I do my breakfast, and I sit down and I work a little bit, and then around 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I just go to the lab and I stay there. I work. If I don't have any lab work, I'll just sit, and since right now I'm working on my proposal, I focus on my writing part. And then after that, in the evening, 5 o'clock, I just come home. If I don't have any lab experience, that is my most like typical day of my life. And after coming home, I still cook dinner for me, and I also cook for 2 3 days, because I don't have time to cook always. So I just cook it and I just do a meal prep. So, and then I sit down and read something, and sometimes I also like to watch some movies. So, to keep my brain fresh, not stressed out too much. And then I typically sleep around 11 o'clock, because previously I used to sleep late at night, but I changed the way of my life. And also I started going to gym lately. So, that is also improving my life a lot, because I feel like it is very important to do something. Physical activity is very important in your life when you are also going through a lot of pressure and stress. Because PhD, everyone knows, if you are doing PhD, that means you have to go through a lot of stress,
Right.
and so you need to have some physical activity going on in your life so that you can keep your mind fresh. Either I do yoga or I go to the gym. So that dedication is very important. Previously I was not very focused in all this or serious about my health, but I started taking my health very seriously, eating healthy, and also go to the gym regularly. And coming back to my typical day when I have to do my lab experiments, it's a hectic day. So it starts with let me start even like I told you, I go to the department in the morning and I come back home around 5. And after that, if I have lab experiments, I have to go at night again because I have to prepare my sample for the next day of experiments. So it demands
Mhm.
a lot of time. So basically, I prepare my sample at night. It take me around, you can say, sometimes 2 hours or 3 hours. So I have to dedicate myself in the lab. So, and also it should be at night. So if anyone was doing experiments like in my lab prior to me, so I have to wait until their experiments is done, because without that, because I need to have my MBE system. So if someone's sample is inside, I cannot work there. So I have to wait until they're done, and if they finish at late night, say 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I have to wait till that time. So I have to prepare my sample and load it. Like, day before yesterday, actually, I came home at 1 o'clock at night from the lab, and I slept around 2 o'clock. And then yesterday was my lab experiment day. I wake up, I didn't even have any food at that moment, because some days are happening, you don't feel like cooking. So yesterday was the day for me. So I had just some frozen parathas that I have. I made it and I ate, and then I went to the lab, and whole day was super hectic for me. It's kind of like one experiment takes like almost 2 hours. It depends, like experiment to experiment. Sometimes it's also can take 3 hours. So
Mhm.
after the experiments, like I have to run three experiments. Once it's done, it took me like almost um, till 6 7 o'clock I was working in the lab, and I was super tired. And after that, I also have to do the characterization, because I need to know how my samples are now. So after the characterization only, I can come home. And it is not finished yet, because today again I think I might need to go, or tomorrow I might need to go and make the devices, because the process is not yet complete. I made the chip now. It will not operate without making the device, without making the contact. So again, that is another thing, another investment of time. You have to fabricate the device and you have to test it whether it is working or not. So it's kind of like, I would say, a typical day if I'm doing lab experiment is 24 hours always, or you can say 18 to 20 hours in the lab most of the time. So I
Great.
hardly get time to sleep. So what I do is, whenever I get free time, I just try to sleep, because
I
this is what it is.
understand.
And also I have my sleeping bag in the department, so that if I don't get enough sleep and I have to stay in the department, I just take it out and I just sleep there.
So you
So
are staying within the campus, or how far are you staying from
no,
university?
here the thing is, like in US, if you think of coming to US and you are joining the university, it's better not to stay in the dorms, because it's more costlier, because compared to the housing outside the campus. So I am staying away from the campus. It is an individual apartment. So it is a student housing complex. You can pay room wise. So basically, you can have your roommates, or you can stay individually. It's up to you. So it's kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think as we are approaching the end of the session, I think we need to do one more session
Sure,
because
sure. I would love.
I couldn't cover my question, but it was good that you shared the whole story.
Mhm.
So, as a last note, I want you to give some advice to the aspiring PhD student who are currently doing their bachelor or masters. If you
Oh,
can share some advice from your own experience, that will be amazing.
sure. So my advice to them is, if you are actually want to do something, I would say, don't give up. That is the way of life. That's how I took my life. you will get a lot of criticism in your life. There will be ups and downs. There will be people who will come and say you can't do this, there will be a lot of pressures you have, because coming from an Indian society, and as a girl, I'm saying you will have pressures of getting married at some certain point, and I'm not saying that don't get married. Of course you have to get married, but like it's up to you, like people to people, whatever you want. But the point is like, just for those challenges and boundaries, don't give up on your dreams. If you are dreaming of doing something, just do it at some point. Like, don't lose hopes, and don't think that you can't do it, because it doesn't matter what people think. At the end of the day, what matters is what you are doing. Whether you are satisfied with your life or not, that is important than what people are thinking about you. Because I would say that I'm satisfied with my life. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care when people say that, oh, she is away from home, or, I'm helping my parents in whatever way I can. I'm giving them the time. Or when people say you're not getting married, yeah, that is up to you now. Like what time you want to get married, it's okay. And yeah, always I would say that if you're planning on coming or going to abroad and study, just start everything from the beginning. I would say plan everything, like, step by step. What are the things that you need to do before you go for higher studies in abroad? And just take one thing at a time. Do one thing at a time. It's okay. It's going to take time. And I would say that the whole procedure to coming to US to study for anything like higher studies, whatever you want to do, it takes at least a year, the application process. If you're planning in coming on fall next year, you should have started the application process from fall this year. It's kind of like a long process, because you have to apply for visa. There you need to have a specific time frame. You cannot say that 1 month before, if you cannot think that, okay, next month I'm going to US. No, that's not how it is. So you have to plan everything from a year ahead, and you need to do it accordingly. And don't give up hopes. If you fail, try again, I would say. But if you are like too much into coming to US, because I'm giving you the suggestion from the US point of view, because I have been through it. I have been through the procedure, so how it is, so I know it. So you don't have to worry about anything. If you are like, maybe you can, some people prefer to go to a consultancy. You can if you want to. But also, if you're thinking that you can't afford a consultant service, I'm saying you can do it even without a consultant, because I did it without a consultant. So it's not a very big thing. It's just you need to do a little bit of more hard work in collecting the informations that you need. But other than that, you can also come without any consultant help. And yeah, I mean, like, don't give up hopes. If you anything in your life, like whether you want to do your PhD in India, you should prepare from the very beginning. You should know what you want to do, and accordingly you have to prepare. So yeah, all the best for the future aspirants. And yeah, you are always free to connect with me over Instagram, or my name is, I go by Rashmita Kashyap in Instagram, Wild Feathers. And yeah, that's it. You can always connect with me over Instagram or wherever, so, to get more information. If you want, I would be happy to help.
Yes, and with this video caption, I will add your details so that if anyone wants to connect you, they can
Yeah,
directly connect to you, right?
yeah.
That's
Mhm.
amazing. I think in future we can cover one session with how to apply from you. We can do that.
Yeah, sure, we can do it. I would be happy to help you out.
Yes. So I think we can conclude the session. Thank you once
Okay.
again, Rashmita. I wish you all the best. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you, Tashrin, so much for having me here and giving me the platform to speak. And I'm happy to like motivate the people out there who wants to have go for higher studies outside.
Yes, and who are watching, thank you so much for joining us. Okay,
Okay.
bye bye. Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.